And what's up? So, welcome to DSD Drift. It's just a little shop. It's a little workshop behind my house at the moment, and we're printing wide body parts. Now, the Ender-5 Max 3D printer is what I am using, and there has been a lot of questions about bed leveling on this, and it was something that I struggled with when I first got the printer and first started it. I mean, I have a pile of prints, failed prints thrown in the corner that happened because of bed leveling. So what I'm going to do is I'm about to start a print, so I'm going to show you exactly how I basically start my printer process or my print process so that I know that my print's going to make it to the end. Sorry if I'm boring. I'm going to try to be as fast as possible on this because it's just a technical video, and yeah, I don't know. Some people might want to see it, some don't. Okay, whatever. Here we go. All right, excuse my dirty screen, but here we are. We're in the Creality slicer, and I got my pieces on there. I got it loaded up. I've already sliced it, and right down here on the bottom, export G-code. That's what I always use now. I don't send a printer. I don't do any of that over Wi-Fi, the cloud, or anything like that, because I had too many issues with layer shift, and switching to the USB stick that come with the printer took care of the layer shift altogether. 100%. I haven't had a single layer shift since I switched to the USB. Some people say that's firmware problems, need an update, whatever. My printer says it's up to date, and I'm not going to fight with it. So we're using the stick. Export G-code. You do the little up, and then I go export G-code right there. And then that'll let you put it on the USB drive. Everybody knows how to use a USB drive, not going over that. Okay, so I take my little USB drive. I come over here. See, pile of failed prints. Not all from bad first layer, but a lot of bad first layers. So here's the printer. Pad. Printer's open. It's at rest. Whatever. Okay, one of two ways to do this. Either you can turn the power off, let it sit for a second, and then turn the power back on. Me, personally, I don't. I leave it where it is, and then I come to my little pad right here. We're going to turn the little pad on. Alright, so you see right here, tips, print complete. Yeah, I finished the print. It was 8 hours and 49 minutes. Okay. So now I'm ready to do my next print. I'm going to go ahead and stick the stick in here just so we can look at it. All right. USB stick is in there. It scans. Once it scans, file, USB drive. There's the next thing I want to print right there. Okay. I know it's on there. We're not doing that yet. So I'm going to go, not to the house, but here to control, and then I'm gonna go to the bed, and I'll put the bed at 45 degrees. Okay, the reason I'm putting the bed at 45 degrees is because the print file that I'm about to print, I'm printing PLA, the bed temperature needs to be 45. So the bed temperature in my G-code is 45. I'm gonna set the bed temperature at 45 in the printer. Now, I let this sit until it hits 45. As soon as it hits 45, we're going to do tilt bed calibration. My firmware is weird sometimes, and I put 45, it stops at 44, sometimes 46. It does whatever it wants. I probably need to do see, there you go. Now I got my 45. Now, we're going to go right here to the gear. settings. All right. So this is what, well, while we're here, one thing I want to understand, does everybody else's have a red dot right there? Because to me, the red dot means that it needs to be updated. But if I hit version detection, it says I'm up to date. I'm not messing with that right now, but whatever. So we have bed at 45 degrees. We're going to go to expert mode, and we're going to hit tilt bed calibration. All right. And then we're going to hit start. And then we sit here and we wait for calibration to complete, and it'll give us the little OK thing, and then we can move to the next step. So I'll see you in a second. All right, so tilt calibration is complete. Now we have to do the auto level. It doesn't really give you a choice. And so now I'm gonna let it run through the auto level procedure, and then we'll be back. Auto level is complete. And now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna hit OK, and it went to the file, but that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna pick the file that we want to print, which is gonna be my top one. Your calibration right here. If you turn this off, what it's gonna do is it's not going to recalibrate your bed for the print. I have tried it this way. Some people say they have success with it. I did kind of, but I didn't really like it. So for me, I leave it on. And then I hit print. And so it's going to go ahead and copy the full file from the USB. And then it's going to start printing. And then I mess with the Z offset if I have to when it's printing, but typically I don't. So if you need to change the Z offset for some reason and you're new to this printer, it took me a minute to find it. But typically when you go to the gear, this is the screen that you're going to see. Your equipment self-test is going to let you do your input shaping and things like that. Bind to the Creality cloud and your time zone. I haven't really messed with much of that because it doesn't bother me. And then things like this on your bottom menu. Expert mode, that's where the heat bed tilt calibration is. And then also that's where you would change your Z offset. You can change your filament flow, and then the other two there, I'm not going to read them to you, but that is what I do to basically get good prints or good first layers almost every time now. And no problems except for that one. And that wasn't even a first layer issue. That was some weird, dumb thing where the holes in the spool got caught on the screws for the filament holder. I appreciate you watching. I hope it helped. So if you're printing big prints or want to print big prints, make sure you're doing your calibrations before every print. There's no point in risking losing money, basically. So I hope y'all have a good night, and I'll see you on the next one.